is Dustin Ross. I'm a professional podcaster. I'm a television host. I'm a writer. I tell jokes. And I do a lot of other things, but apparently I am also an influencer. Clap if you heard the word influencer before, right? Right? Clap if you're tired of hearing the word influencer. Thank you. I got bad news for you. I'm about to say it some more. But the first job I ever had was being that of a brother and a son. And when I think back on the moments that taught me what it meant to truly be influential and what it meant to have impact over someone else's life, I think back to my 4th grade year. My teacher, Mrs. Oglesby, changed my life that year, and I will never forget the way that it made me feel. My parents, who I love dearly, are Jehovah's Witnesses. So growing up, we did not have birthday celebrations. We didn't have Halloween parties, no trick-or-treating, no Christmas presents. I could keep going, right? However, this taught me to be self-reliant in a way that I didn't even know I needed to be. You see, when classrooms would have birthday celebrations for my fellow students and my peers, and their parents would come in with the cake or the cupcakes to celebrate, and everybody would have a good time, Dustin had to leave the classroom. And so, don't cry for me, Argentina, because I party hard now. But at the time, I had to leave the classroom, and I felt very othered. And for years, it continued that way until my 4th grade teacher, Mrs. Oglesby, tapped me on my shoulder. And she told me, Dustin, you know what? You are special. And the fact that you can't participate in these events is not a bad thing. It just means that you have something else we can do. And she created a job for me. I was her executive assistant. I felt so adult. Learned skills that I use now, like filing and scheduling. To this day, I'm my own executive assistant. I ain't hiring nobody. And she truly gave me a sense of self in a moment where I felt otherwise left of center or different from everyone else for reasons that I really couldn't explain. And I'll never forget how that empowered me in that moment and taught me a very valuable and critical lesson to always consider the story behind people's presentation. Give people grace, because there's always a reason why. And I learned that very early on, and to this day, I'm grateful for her impact and her influence. So shout out to Miss Oglesby. That's right. One of my other earliest memories, of being influenced is that of my experience with my siblings. I am fortunate enough to have older siblings who I've always had a spirit of camaraderie with. We've always been friends. Kind of leaned on each other. I didn't have the hating older siblings who treated me like a little brother. We've always been right on the same plane. And so I watched them. I watched my brother and my sister nurture relationships amongst their peers. I watched them have strong bonds with our cousins that we were close to and support each other in ways that really mattered. I watched them edify each other and build each other up, and I said that that is exactly how I want it to be. My siblings have always encouraged me, always been present in my life, taught me how to curse, taught me lots of things that I truly appreciate, and they were, right? And they were truly my first friends. I watched them closely, and even to this day, they are so present, so involved in my life. They were truly my first friends, and one of the first presences that was in my life that was influential in that way. So I have a great amount of gratitude for my siblings for showing me the way and showing me how to be a good friend to those that I am close to. So I'm eternally grateful for their impact and influence. Traditionally, we know that when it came to influencing, celebrities had that job. Through traditional media channels like film and television and music, we've watched them for years attach their name and endorsement and cosign to goods and services and products. And we've watched them drive attention in droves to those projects and products. And we've watched those sales drive through the roof. As time has gone on, we've watched that needle move a little further down, and now we're in the era of the social media influencer, right? And these people are non-celebrities. They are relatable. They are names that you follow what they do, you like the way that they live, you learn to like their taste, they become tastemakers in your life, and they have amassed a following, sometimes large, sometimes small, but one that buys what they sell, believes in what they say, through things like product reviews, story times, reflections on experiences. This has created a value as social media has democratized influence. It is truly available for all. Today, large social media platforms like YouTube and TikTok and Instagram have literally trillions of views. In 2019, TikTok, YouTube, the average views were about 500 billion. Now they're 2 trillion just last year in 2023. And according to the Digital Market Research Institute, there is a 3% chance that consumers will purchase something with a celebrity endorsement today versus a 60% chance that they'll purchase something from an influencer through their influence. So we have truly moved the needle forward. It's been great to see as these influencers have been able to leverage that value into actual buying power, into dollars being moved, shifting commerce, and in some cases, shifting people's views on causes and concerns that were important to them and important to our world. So this has been a great thing to watch, and it has been very influential to me. I know I just bought the TikTok phone light that everybody's using. It's on the way to my house. So it truly works. But when I think back to and think about where I am now in life and what has been most influential to me, it didn't come from a celebrity's endorsement, nor did it come from any of the social media influencers that I follow and love. I've been fortunate enough to encounter some very, very remarkable people in my lifetime. Personalities, souls, and perspectives that have changed everything about me for the better. And I've been fortunate enough to form best friendships with these people. One of my best friends, her name is Neff. She is a chemist. She's one of the smartest people I know. She was the first person to synthesize zinc sulfate hexahydrate, and I only remembered that because she's my friend. Proud of her. She's in the Science Journal. She travels the world, just a very bright, loving spirit. She doesn't drink. She doesn't smoke. She just is full of life and the life of every party she's placed in. She loves dancing and providing that energy to just lift everyone's spirits. And at times when I've needed it the most, she has truly been right there just to lift me up. We met on a chance meeting in Harlem one afternoon where she mistakenly thought that Always Be My Baby by Mariah Carey was Jennifer Lopez. Instantly, we were friends for life. She didn't even realize how much of a faux pas that was, but it endeared me to her. And we never looked back. Our friendship has been truly one for the books, and it has shifted everything about the way that I approach friendship because she saw something in me, and she sees the goodness in me and has encouraged me to see it in myself, and therein encouraged me to see it in others as well. And one of the things I love most about our friendship is that we have mutual best friends. Didn't even know we were connected. We started naming names, and wow, we're both in all each other's lives and connected in these ways. And so we formed a fast friendship that was so genuine and truly gratified me. Again, one of the things I love the best about her and our relationship is that we have mutual friends, one of whom is my other best friend. His name is Frank. He is a Southern gentleman, very tall and charming, can disarm you with his smile. He is a serial entrepreneur, and he has curated events globally that have truly impacted change. Inclusive events that encourage people to be present and enjoy themselves. His impact has been felt globally as he's done these events all over the world, and Frank, and Neff, and myself, we traveled the world together. We have vacationed and gone to places that I never thought I would, and it has felt so good because I've been surrounded by their love and true support. The past 2 years, however, have been quite challenging to our friendships. On November 22nd, 2022, I woke up to the news that my best friend Frank had passed away. This was a devastating loss for me. It still is a devastating loss for me, and it's been so difficult to learn how to live without him. Thankfully, as I said previously, there have been throngs of people who loved Frank and supported him, and he supported them. So we've had a community of sharing this load of grief that's been so daunting and overbearing. And my friend Neff has been truly one of the people who supported me in that way, and I've supported her as well. Just about a little over 2 weeks ago, on April 4th of this year, 2024, I got a call from my friend Neff's mother telling me that it was time for me to say goodbye to her as she was passing away. Just over 2 weeks ago, Neff had a battle with cancer, stage 4, that she successfully fought for years, and unfortunately things just came to an end. But it brought the end of our physical friendship. And although I have been in the literal bowels of grief for the past 2 years, and especially the past 2 weeks, and to be honest with you all, it was quite possible that I was not going to be on this stage today. It's been unbearable for me. But when I think about how grateful I am that our friendships happened, when I think about how grateful I am that I experienced that true love from a friend, when I think about how grateful I am that they built me up and made me feel desired as a friend and saw the goodness in me and encouraged me to keep going, that's exactly what brought me to this stage today. Because I know that had Neff and Frank been here in the physical, they'd be sitting right there in those 2 seats that I'm looking at, smiling at me and making faces and doing all the things that best friends do, and I still feel their love. You see, Neff and Frank's love influenced me to be a better friend, to listen to the needs of my friends and loved ones. And these are all things that you all can do today too. This is by no means a pity party for me. I am in good spirits today because I'm right where I'm supposed to be. And I feel the encouragement and the love from Neff and Frank that I know they would show if they were here today. So the call to action for you all, since we are all influencers and we all have an opportunity to connect and impact the lives of those close to us, is to reach out to the person that you've been avoiding. Love your strong friends. Love your friends that may need a little bit more support as well. Show up for your loved ones and friends in all the ways that you would love for them to show up for you, and just because you care. That's our call to action today, and I know that we all can do it because we are all influencers. Thank you so much.